Hello there! What is going on, everyone? Today we are going to be looking at the Mandalorian faction pack for Star Wars the Deck Building game. This is a new expansion for the Star Wars deck building game that adds the Mandalorians and adds a three-player mode and a way for you to kind of expand your game of Star Wars the Deck Building game. It does work with both the original version of Star Wars the Deck Building game as well as the Clone Wars edition of the Star Wars deck building game. However, this box is not a standalone product. You need at least one of those two games in order to incorporate this one because it's just adding one of the factions. So you can play two players with this, or you can split it up into a three-way free-for-all and kind of divide the line out that way. Well, let's go ahead and dive into this pack and take a look at it. If you guys are new here to the channel, I'd love to have you stick around, click that subscribe button, like the video, share the video, all that good stuff. Hopefully you're having a wonderful holiday season, and I wish you all a happy new year. Let's go ahead and take a look at these Mandos. All right, so we've pulled this out of the box. We have a rules overview in here. Now, this is a short rule book. Here's thanks to everybody who helped make this game come to life. This is going to have an example of the three-player mode where you're going to kind of split it into three ways. And the interesting thing about this, there's a couple of interesting things about the three-player mode, and we're going to look at the cards here in just a second. But you're going to be, each player is going to be in one section, and like if you're sitting here, you have access to these cards and these cards, but you don't have access to those cards. You'll also take the force tracker and you add this extra card on there, and it can go three different ways. And then there's a couple of extra cards in here, like the Pike Repulsor Train, which we'll take a look at that as well. We do have, well, I think it's 70 new cards here. So there's a lot of cards. Some are only in the three-player mode variant, and those are going to say that. But here we go. This look at there we go. That is our new Balance of the Force, our new Mandalorian version. If you're playing a two-player version of the game, you're going to set this. You're going to set this one over the Rebel or Imperial side, or whichever whichever side that is not in play. You'll just cover that up with this one. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at all of these cards. All right, so we're talking about the basic cards first. We're going to look at. We have two Foundlings. We have Paz Vizsla, the man himself. Oh, love this guy. Love this guy. We got some Clan Kryze Commandos. We have two of those. And an interesting thing about this is there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the force marker being in the neutral space, which is another, like, there's a lot of things that kind of give the Mandalorians their own faction identity. And moving the force marker to the neutral space is definitely one of those, because there's a lot of things that can push it there or can benefit from it. And I'm bumping my table here. So, all right, we've got two of the Balatar Swoop Riders. Again, you're moving stuff towards the neutral space, right? We've got Axe Wolves, also who can do that. You've got some Mandalorian Hunters. You have two of these. And this is going to, if its force is with you, it's going to move it to the neutral space, and they're going to gain one for each space moved this way. And that one's kind of a cool one. I don't think it's going to be super likely that the force will be with you, but it certainly can. This one can put them on the neutral space, or you can gain 3 money, which is nice. Then we have 3 captured Gazanti cruisers. And this one, if the force is on the neutral space, you get to draw a card. So that's giving you like the same or a better advantage rather than if the force is with you. And it's going to be harder to keep it on the neutral space, because anything your opponent does. But the really cool thing about all these cards that put it on the neutral space is you can take it very far away from your opponents. That's like the equivalent of like 3 moves, right? We've got Koska Reeves, who has a really cool ability. She can attack a neutral unit in the galaxy row and defeat it and gain lots of stuff. Or she can just attack normal because she's still a 4 attack. Now, this does mean if you don't want to gain the money and attack somebody else, if somebody's too strong for her, somebody else can't join in on that same attack because other people can't, but she can. So it doesn't mean she can, create a whole attack that everybody else can join. It's just her. And we have 2 Mandalorian hijackers. Now, this is like maybe the coolest unit in the entire in the entire faction, because they allow you to kind of steal stuff from another faction. They can attack ships. a capital ship in the galaxy row. And if you destroy it, exile this unit to purchase that ship for free and add it to your hand. This means they can get stuff that's Rebel or Empire. They can get TIE fighters. Or if you have 2 of them, right, you can get a Star Destroyer, theoretically, right? So that's really cool. And then it becomes yours. It goes into your hand, and which is very, very cool. We've got 2 Protectorate fighters. And again, more bonuses for the neutral space, right? We've got the Mandalorian, not Din Djarin for some reason. Well, we're seeing more and more stuff. Obviously, his name has been known for years now, but apparently a lot of times they just want him to be called the Mandalorian. Strangely enough, Grogu is not called the Child anymore. So yeah, I don't know what kind of dictates the naming conventions, but that is how it is. We've got 2 Gauntlet drop ships, and we have, which is pretty cool. We also have 2 Arquitens Command Cruisers. So yeah, it buffs all of your troopers. A very cool one. We have the Armorer, which is also really nice. By the way, the Arquitens are 5, right? Din's little starfighter is 6, with 6 attack, which is strange to me. It's like I don't think that this ship could kill an Arquitens all by itself. Like, that's kind of crazy. What do you think? I don't know. I think that's a little crazy. Razor Crest costs 7, 4 attack, 3 money. Good card though, really good card. And Bo-Katan at number 8. Oh wow! By the way, the art on these cards is absolutely spectacular. This is like one of the best pieces I've ever seen. I love this. It's like she's charging forward, right? Oh, that is really, really cool. And these are all the cards that you'll play in a standard game. These you're going to swap out. If you want to basically use this, these are the cards you're going to use. And let's say you're playing with the regular version of the deck building game, you'll then take maybe the Rebels out and have Mandalorians go up against the Empire or something like that, or vice versa. Or you can do this with the Clone Wars. You can be like, no Separatists, it's the Republic versus Mandalorians or whatever. And you're going to do that. Now we're going to look at some stuff for the 3-player game as well. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot to look at the bases. The regular bases also that go with them. We start with Concord Dawn. We're going to have Mandalore. We're going to have Navarro from the Mandalorian. Arvala 7. Trask. And this one is an interesting one too. Rocket Pack Hijack. When you reveal Trask, choose a capital ship in the Galaxy Row. You can use your units. This one allows you to use all of them, right? To attack that ship this turn. If you destroy it, purchase it for free and add it to your hand. This is an incredibly cool, this is a fun faction. They look really fun. Concordia, Tatooine, Typhon, Kalevala. I think this was season 1, episode 4 or whatever, where Mando and Grogu go to that planet where they're making wine and fight the raiders and stuff. I think that's that planet. I might be wrong. And the Glavis Ringworld. So yeah, those are the regular planets. There are some more. Let's look at some of the 3-player only stuff. Now we've got Mandalorian soldiers. Oh, these are the starters. All right, this is what you're going to start with. We got the Mandalorian shuttle. I keep saying we're going to look at the 3-player stuff, and I keep pulling out 2-player stuff. And then there's our Child of the Watch. These are the basic starters. All right, so to start off the 3-player stuff, we do have the Pike Repulsor Train. This stays in play, does not leave play, and it allows people an alternative way to attack. An interesting thing about the 3-player game, and this really feeds into that, is that it adds a kind of a measure of discussion and alliances and betrayal and deal making and brokering between people, because of the fact that you may certainly say to the guy on your left who might want to come in and attack you, and like, hey, if you don't attack me, I won't attack you. And he's like, oh, well, he doesn't have anything else for me to attack. Well, you could go ahead and go for the Pike Repulsor Train. It's good if you have an excess of attack and have nothing else to do as well. But again, if you can bounty hunt or sabotage this unit, you can draw an additional card at the end of your turn. Starting off with an extra card is a big deal in this game. So it's a nice reward if you have a lot of attack and maybe not too much to do with it. Also, with a 3-player game, it's the first person to 5 kills, 5 bases, but you have to have at least 2 from each opponent, so you can't just gang up on one person. So you do have to split up a little bit. All right, and we have a bunch of the neutral units you'll add to a 3-player game. These are the neutral units you use for a 3-player game. You've got the Aqualish Raider, You've got Pelimato. And these all deal with like terminology and stuff that works for a 2-player game or multiple opponents, right? We've got 2 Corellian transports, and we've got Queel. A lot of characters from The Mandalorian that you'll probably recognize. We've got 2 Quarren freighters. We have Cobb Vanth, Timothy Oliphant himself, Cobb Vanth, without the armor, without it. He used to have it once upon a time. Pirate Snub Fighter, 2 of those. We've got IG-11 in Nanny Protocols. We have pirates too. We've got the Gorian Shard. Oh, this guy was cool. That was a cool episode. Very cool episode. We've got Shard's Corsair. There, a big old one. When it's destroyed by an opponent, deal 2 to that player's base. Oh, look at that. Don't come after me. And then we have Grief Karga. With his calamari flan, he'll pay you. You can spend that equal to the cost of a unit in your discard pile to add it to your hand. You must exile that unit at the end of your turn. He's going all out. He's the killing blow, right? Killing blow. We also have a couple of planets that are 3-player only as well. We've got Lothal, we've got Dantooine, and Concord Dawn. And the special thing about these is that in a 3-player game, each player will have normally a starting base. Those starting bases are going to go away, and you'll replace those with one of these each, and you just determine amongst yourselves who's going to start with what. And they're kind of open-ended enough, although Concord Dawn probably belongs most likely with the Mandos. Lothal and Dantooine are a little more open-ended, but they lean a little bit more towards the Galactic Civil War from my particular perspective, but it could be either way. So yeah, but yeah, you can do those however you want. So that's a quick look at the Mandalorian faction pack for the Star Wars deck building game. It looks like a really cool pack. There's some really nice mechanics and uniqueness to the Mandalorians. They look like a very fun faction to play. There's problems you're going to run into is that, well, everybody's going to want to play the Mandalorians. They're going to want to be like, oh, I want to be the Mandalorians. No, I want to be the Mandalorians. And you're like, there can only be one Mandalorians, right? So you're going to have to argue over that and maybe take turns playing the Mandalorians. The other issue that you're likely to run into is that for storage, frankly, this is kind of a not a great box, all right? And if you sleeve the cards, they're not going back in this box. So you're going to have to put them in one of these other 2 boxes. And yeah, it might have been a little nicer if they had a box that would have fit with these, like for shelf. Like when you're putting your stuff on the shelf, you won't be able to like really kind of keep this around. So you're gonna have to figure out how you want to do that. If you're not sleeving, it's a whole lot easier. But a deck building game really needs to be sleeved, and and now you got to find matching sleeves to the other ones that you had before. The funny thing is, like when I got this for the very first time, when this one came out, it came with custom sleeves that had this image on the back of the art. And it was really cool. And I was like, those are beautiful. But then this came out, and then it's mixed and matched. And you're supposed to mix and match them. And I'm like, well, that's terrible. I don't want to do that. But now there's even more mixing and matching. So, I'm going to have to take these sleeves off and put just basic clear sleeves on, because you can't use custom sleeves anymore. Unless they actually sell these sleeves. I need to go look and see if they have those, because I would be fine just using these sleeves on everything. And there's more coming though too, so you got to buy a lot of them. There's a lot more sleeves coming, or a lot more cards coming. There's a whole nother pack that they announced, rather. There's it looks like a very Star Wars Rebels Bad Batch kind of early Empire theme, Rise of the Empire era kind of the expansion that is coming next year for Star Wars the deck building as well. So a lot of cool stuff on the way for this game. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. What faction would you want to play, or what would be the coolest pair up of like Mandos versus whom? What's the coolest pair up so far in the Star Wars deck building game? That's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. This is the way. The spice must flow. You can't take the sky from me. And always wash your socks.